Hey guys, this is the second part of the reaction. Sorry, I forgot when you go into full screen, it stopped. So what I was saying, we should do the Barrow Bells Restoration 1. So this will show a lot about Barrow.
Really, proper church bells have not rung out in Barrow at all this century, and that's because the bells of St James's were declared unsafe in 1999, and it's the only church in the town with proper bells in its belfry. But today, a major milestone has been reached in the £160,000 project to restore them, as they were taken down for restoration work. Our Furnace reporter Jenny Dennett went for a look.
Now I am resisting the temptation in a rather cheesy fashion to slump forward and say the bells, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is very hard when faced with this scenario. With me I have Keith Newby, who has run here and been involved in this great operation to get them down. Now tell me about these bells. Now they're not gleaming brass, are they? They're quite ancient.
The bell metal's 75% copper and 25% tin, and that's what gives it the proper sound.
The proper sound and a greenish tinge as well.
1877, it's on the top of them.
So we're talking, what, 136 years
We are,
old?
and
Goodness.
they've been up there ever since. There's 8 bells in front of you now, all ready to be transported down to the Whitechapel Bell Foundry.
It shows you some people now.
I'm Stan Walmsley, and I learnt to ring in 1951. I came to Furness in 1968. One of the churches I rang first of all was here in St James, Barrow in Furness. I ring mostly at Dalton in Furness, and one of the ringers I've rung with most of all was Jack Bagnall. Now, Jack Bagnall was for many years the tower captain here in St James, Barrow in Furness. And Jack died in 2009. And as part of the obituary in the Ringing World I wrote, I mentioned about the fact that the bells here weren't being rung. Dennis Ellisden, who now lives in Essex, saw this obituary and he was interested because he was taught to ring here in Barrow by Jack Bagnall. And so he contacted me and said that he would donate some money so that to help the fund to get the bells rehung. And over the last few years, much work has been done, and here we are with the set of bells rehung and ringing out loud and clear.
Well, my name is Dennis Ellisden. I live in Essex on the borders of London. I learnt to bell ring at St James's when I was an apprentice at the shipyard. It's been part of my life. I've been in charge of towers in the London area and held offices in bell ringing circles in the south of England. And when I heard that they were going to try and restore the bells at Barrow, which had not been rung for a long time, I volunteered to make a donation. Well, Jeff Pullin had various ideas of what to do with the restoration, and there were various plans put forward, and we finally agreed that if the job was going to be done properly, the bells needed to be removed from their existing position and refurbished and then put in a brand new frame lowering the tower.
I'm Hugh, one of the volunteers that were involved in taking the bells out. We're now in the original bell chamber where the bells were hung in 1877, and they completely filled this chamber. What we had to do was lower the bells down through the tower. Now, it sounds fairly straightforward perhaps, but all the fittings were quite rusted. And so we had to take the wheels off, the clappers had to come out first of all, and eventually everything went down to the ground floor for refurbishment. Right. We're now in the new bell chamber. The first job when we started installing the bells here was actually to put these two huge primary beams in place and the 4 secondary beams. These then were concreted in place by Lex and left to for the concrete to harden for a week or so, and then we all came back and started on the rest of the work. For each of the bells, of course, we had to hoist up the side frames and then the bells in order. We started with the bells on the outside because everything, of course, came through a hole in the middle of the floor. And the final 2 bells were the tenor and the 5th, which are over this trapdoor. When everything was loosely assembled, we then had to fit all the wheels, the stays and the clappers. The wheels come in 2 halves and they're joined together with fairly fragile tenons in the joint, and the wheel irons to go on the outside which stop them warping. The very last job was actually fitting the clappers. Before that, Phil Dunn at the bell hanger rang each bell up just to check it was clear of the frame, not hitting anything, and everything seemed to perform as it should do.
Hi there, my name's Carl. This is my wife Rachel and our new first child Catherine. We've been asked to come down and say a few words about our experiences in the bell ringing community, bell ringing world. I think it's an interesting hobby in itself. It's mentally challenging as well as being physically demanding as well. Some of the bells are very heavy and take some managing, although there are lighter bells, of course, that are much easier to ring. We've met lots of really interesting, quite funny, and a wide and varied range of people, really, which make up the bell ringing community, and it's one that we're really we get a lot from, and we're really happy to be part of.
I'm Brenda Pearce, one of the church wardens here at St James, and I've been for about 20 years. So I've got to tell you now, these bells are an absolute delight to me. It's something I always envisaged would happen, but it was really just a dream. And then that dream became reality. The bells are a great asset really to the church because they make the people aware of the surrounding area, that the church is here. It's lovely for weddings, it announces our services during the week. The 8 bells usually ring on a Sunday morning, and then of an evening, maybe just 2 or 3, just to just to let people know that's aware of the services. So really, they're a wonderful asset to Barrow in Furness as well, and never thought this would happen.
She's not long. Oh, he is the tower captain of Barrow now.
Hiya, my name's Andy Pollock and I'm the tower captain at St James's Church in Barrow in Furness, and I'm stood at the moment in the ringing room. So in this ringing room we have a series of ropes. We've got 8 bells in this tower, but over the years the bells in St James got corroded from pollution and from the salty sea air, and the frame and all the fixtures and fittings corroded or rotted to the extent where we weren't able to ring them anymore. So as part of the job, there was a mammoth task of taking all the old bells out of the tower, but it wasn't just the old bells, they had the old frame that was in the way of the work that we needed to do in the old belfry. They went and they took the bells and they took the corrosion off the outside and they tuned the inside of the bells, and they created a brand new frame and put it in the chamber above, but a floor lower than the original bells were hung. And that's made for a lot of advantages and has made it much easier to ring the bells. So now we have this fantastic set of bells which we're looking forward to ring for many years to come, and obviously we'll be passing them on to whoever takes them on after we've gone. But as part of that idea that we're now passing this on for generations to come, we thought it was important to try and record some information about all the work that went into this restoration project for posterity, really, to try and capture in some essence of what has gone on and who was involved, and the fantastic job that they managed to do. So as part of that scheme, we invited the local students from the Furness College to come down and see if they would like to create a video to capture this information and be able to record that and preserve that in a way that we could then pass on to people in the future, and they can look back and see what we did, and hopefully they won't have to do a similar job in the future, and they will be able to look back and say and appreciate everything that's gone on.
I just want to say well done to everyone who has been involved in this project. On behalf, I think, of the whole town. But my reaction so far, I have to say, from the locals has been they like it. I'm not surprised. I've been up there in the tower. They're extraordinary. I mean, they're so noisy when you're in there, but it is such an impressive thing to have been able to achieve. I know there's been so much work which has gone into this, but it will stand this area in great stead for many generations to come. So many congratulations.
Yeah, it was awesome with that. Sorry it has to be 2 parts, I forgot about the thing, but now we're going to be doing this. Alright guys, I'm gonna show you the Barrow Bells website now. Oh, apparently my connection not secure enough right now. Alright, I'll just do this. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you some stuff. It shows why the bells need restoration. The bells are taken to date back to 1877, and the bells in the tower got corroded and stuff. I'm going to quickly go to the gallery bit, and I'm going to show you the state of the bells before the restoration. See, this is the bell from number 4. I must on some bolts and it's side 2, 1 and 3 from it, and the tenor. And if you see, this is what the bells looked like before they were restored, and it wasn't safe to ring them, but I wasn't a ringer at the time. And it is the first vicar of St James in Barrow. St James's bell ringers at Boston Abbey. Nice. Quite awesome now let me look at this. They have some Northwest Evening Mail. Yeah, this is what I believe this is what it was. I believe that's what it looked like when they were safe to ring, because the bells look way better than that now, so that was probably before they did it. And there's the tower captain next to some of the bells with it, and they were all taken away from Barrow, and there's the Whitechapel, and there's all of them in a line when they came back. I would have loved to be at that now, and there's loads of people like here. Oh, for goodness sake, why is it like that? It's always like that. I know him, he's Andy Pollock, he's the tower captain. And I don't know if I know any of the other people from there. Things are quite cool with that, and wait, let me go down a minute. Yeah, I know her, that is Joel Sweeney, and that one there is, I forget some of the names sometimes. Oh yeah, because, if we go on to the history, and if we look at this with the ringing of St. James, if you look here guys, like, yeah, like, St. James is members of the Lancashire Association of Change Ringing when they joined. And if we quickly go down there, if you look, see, there's my name right there, see, Kyle Harrison. See, Kyle Harrison right there. See, it shows that, which is quite cool, in my opinion. And the one with the Carlisle Guild of Church Bell Ringers. And if you see, my name's there again. And I'm gonna look for people I know. So I know Ian, and I know Jaden, and I know Jason, and I do know Ken as well, and I know Sue and Joe, and Cameron, and I know Andy Prater, and Alan, and Ewan, and Chris, and Andy. And if you look where it says on practice night, it was on Thursday evening once, but Tuesday evening, but see, from February 2014, when that's where we start, the practice night is on Wednesday. Quite cool, so you can go see the Barrow Bells website if you like, but until I'm going to end the video. Remember, I'm doing a, yeah, remember guys, I'm doing a questions and answers Q&A, so comment some questions in the comment section. Until next time, ring out.